guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 24 to 48 hours. So much news to cover, but mainly we're going to be focusing on Laporta's rebuild. Who's he going to bring in? Who's he going to sell? So many names are being reported, and we're going to cover everything in this video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button. Let's try to get to 200 likes on this video. It'd be very much appreciated. And of course, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. The first part of Laporta's rebuild is bringing in a striker. As we all know, Barcelona lack a number 9 in the current team, and there have been 3 names flying around. The first name we're going to cover is Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland has been reported. As we all know, Laporta has a good relationship with Mino Raiola, who is Haaland's agent, and the rumors have been flying in. The first one coming in from Fabrizio Romano, saying that in the race to sign Erling Haaland, keep an eye on Barcelona because for sure Joan Laporta is a lover of Haaland. Currently no clubs in advanced talks to sign him. Haaland will decide his future along with Raiola at the end of the season. He also states that the reason why Laporta and Raiola have a good relationship is because of the deals that involved Ibrahimovic and Maxwell in the past. Raiola has never done a deal with Real Madrid and he wants to do one in the future, but it could be with another client. Also, AS, which is of course a Madrid-based newspaper, they come out saying that Haaland is Laporta's big obsession. Laporta wants to build a young team around Messi. The president believes that he can make it happen. He intends to create a financial bond that allows him to liquidate as soon as possible, despite the club's large debt. Now, the other striker that has been rumored a lot is Sergio Aguero, and of course, the main reason for that is that he is very, very good friends with Lionel Messi. Firstly, Mundo Deportivo come out saying that Aguero is an option for Laporta. His contract ends in June and he would arrive on a free. Aguero himself would be delighted to play with Messi and agrees to lower his wages, but he wants a big transfer bonus. Fabrizio Romano came out talking about this as well. He said that Sergio Aguero will only decide his future at the end of the season. Till then, he won't negotiate with any other club out of respect for Manchester City. Clubs from Italy and from Spain are both very interested. Now, Lawrence from ESPN, who we all know is very, very reliable, he came out talking about Aguero as well. He said that Aguero is an option for Barcelona since he would arrive at a free at the end of the season. He was offered by his agent to Laporta's candidacy many months ago, but no decision has been made on the matter. Now, Sport have come out also talking about this topic, saying that Barcelona will only sign Sergio Aguero if the conditions are very favorable. His salary must be reduced by at least 50% for Barcelona to even consider him as a genuine option. And the third option for the striker position that Barcelona have been looking at for like the past 8 months is of course Memphis Depay. Now, Sport have come out saying that Ronald Koeman prefers the signing of Depay over the signing of Aguero. Now, the reason why Koeman prefers Depay instead of Aguero is that he thinks that the Dutchman's state of form and performances this season have been much better than Aguero's, and of course Aguero is very injury prone. If Koeman remains as the manager for next season, signing Depay would be a priority on his list and the board's list over Aguero. So out of those 3 options we talked about, Barcelona probably going to have to go for 2, considering the fact that we're going to have to sell Martin Braithwaite, and for me, I would be going for Haaland and Depay. Haaland's going to be, of course, very, very difficult because every single top side in Europe is going to go for him. And Depay, of course, is a very, very quality player. And, of course, Koeman has been asking for him for so many months now. But the option that I'm worried about is Aguero because, of course, Aguero, he's coming to the end of his career, very injury prone. Of course, Aguero is a top striker on his day, but he's basically Suarez. What's the point of selling Suarez at 33-year-old if you're going to bring in another 33-year-old? It just makes the sale of Suarez absolutely useless, so I stay clear of Aguero. But if you told me if you want to keep Messi, you have to bring in Aguero, then I would bring in Aguero. But nonetheless, all these options are very, very good. But for me, for sure, I'd be looking at Depay and Haaland. The second part of Laporta's rebuild is bringing in a center back. Because as we all know, the defense over the past few years has been an absolute shambles. And one player that's been linked all over the place since Laporta's been elected is David Alba. Firstly, coming in from Christian Falk, who is a top source around Bayern Munich. He's probably the best out there. He came out saying that Barcelona is an appealing option for David Alba, but his next club's priority list is as follows: La Liga, Premier League, and then PSG. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that David Alba's agent Zahavi was in Barcelona last week with Ramandani, who is Pjanić's agent, with whom he works with now. Both made a tour through Barcelona and Madrid and were in contact with Joan Laporta's candidacy. They assured that they have nothing signed with Real Madrid, and they also discussed that David Alba's interest in playing at the Camp Nou and have reached a verbal agreement, not in writing. Now the talks will advance and they will continue as Joan Laporta is already the president of the club and talk about numbers in regards to salary and of course bonuses. Now, after hearing all these rumors about Laporta and David Alba having a good connection with his agent, BS Sports just came out of nowhere and said that David Alba has reached an official agreement with FC Barcelona. Now, this caught everyone off guard, saying, look, Laporta's been, the president for 2 days and we already reached an agreement with David Alba. Doesn't really make any sense. Sky came out saying that there are numerous amount of clubs interested in the service of David Alba, including FC Barcelona. However, no agreement has been reached. Now, the main man himself, Zahavi, who is of course David Alba's agent, he came out to goal saying that there's no verbal agreement with Barcelona. This news is not true. Fabrizio Romano also came out saying that David Alba has reached a verbal agreement with only Real Madrid, but nothing is signed with them, and he has not reached an agreement with Barcelona. Now, Gerard Romero from Rack 1 came out yesterday saying that the relationship between Joan Laporta and Zahavi could make the David Alba arrival in Barcelona possible, but players must be sold beforehand in order to reduce the wage bill, as David Alba's demands are pretty high. Now, Oriel from Cat Radio, who is a top source in Barcelona, he came out saying that Laporta would try to sign David Alba and or Haaland. Haaland has a 75 million release clause plus commission for the agent and the father, which is about 100 million in total. Alba and Garcia would arrive on a free. Now, we talked about this a few weeks ago about Oriel coming out saying that Haaland's release clause is this summer, when every other source is coming out saying that it's next summer. So I wouldn't really consider this reliable from Oriel. But the fact of the matter is that he's saying that Laporta does want David Alba and Haaland, and that Eric Garcia will be arriving on a free. That's pretty much guaranteed as well. Now, we all know that David Alba is one of the best defenders in the world. Of course, just won the Sextuple with Bayern Munich, and I think he'd be a great addition to the team. Of course, he can play at the top level at center back, left back, and at CDM. Hopefully Laporta can get this deal done, but I feel like it's going to be very, very difficult because, of course, David Alba is one of the best free agents out there. He's going to demand high wages, high bonuses because there's not going to be a transfer fee involved. So I'm not too sure if Laporta can get this deal done, but Barcelona are in the race for sure. Now, the third part of Laporta's rebuild is keeping the greatest player ever to play the game, Lionel Messi. Fabrizio Romano first comes out by saying that Lionel Messi has a great relationship with Laporta. There are chances that Leo will stay, but the project with the new Barcelona will be key to convince him. He will either join Manchester City or PSG if he does not stay at Barcelona. He also said that Barcelona's best chance of keeping Lionel Messi was to elect Joan Laporta, which we did. It's not only about the player, but also his family as well. He continues on by saying that the Laporta-Messi connection is very, very strong. One thing for certain is that Laporta will call Messi's father Jorge and his lawyers and propose a new long-term contract with a sporting project. Now, the big news that has come out in regards to Messi was straight after the PSG game. Garcia came out saying that there was a meeting scheduled to be attended by Jorge Messi to discuss Lionel Messi's future in Paris, but it was suspended. Jorge Messi said that if Laporta won the election, their priority would be to listen to Barcelona first. They also say that the possible option, as discussed by Jorge Messi, is that 2 years at Barcelona and then he goes to Miami to play in the MLS. They also said that now there's a 50% chance that Lionel Messi can stay at Barcelona. Whereas from before the election, when Laporta wasn't the president and wasn't elected, there was a 0% chance of Messi staying at Barcelona. Just shows how important it was that we elected Joan Laporta as the new president. Now, Araf bin Aid from BN Sports, he's very, very close to Barcelona and of course to Lionel Messi. He came out saying that Messi is more happy now. He sees the team competing and his future will be determined in the next few months. There is an important meeting that will be taking place with Joan Laporta after the new president gets acquainted with everything at Barcelona in order to know the offer they can present to him. And he also states that any news surrounding Messi saying that he's going to stay is completely false. And that news he's referring to is the news coming in from Sergio Gonzalez. Now, Sergio Gonzalez is very, very close to Lionel Messi. He's an Argentinian reporter and he's very, very close to Lionel Messi and his family. He came out with a simple tweet saying that Messi stays, don't buy any more stories. With Laporta being elected as the Barcelona president, it does bring up the chances of Messi staying at Barcelona, but the scary thing was that if Laporta was not elected, Messi was 100% gonna leave. Of course, with Jorge Messi cancelling his meeting with Paris Saint-Germain is a positive, but Joan Laporta has to present a sporting project to Messi. He can't just say to him, look, I'm here, stay. Messi wants a sporting project because he wants to win the Champions League before he retires one more time. So a big part in Messi's decision to stay at Barcelona is riding on Joan Laporta's sporting presentation to him. Now, the fourth part of Laporta's rebuild is reducing the wage bill, getting rid of the dead players, and of course, assembling his board of directors. Firstly, coming in from Xavi Campos, saying that Laporta intends to reach an agreement with the unimportant players, thus decreasing the wage bill. Fabrizio Romano also came out backing that from Xavi Campos, saying that selling players is a must for Barcelona to make new signings, especially due to the salary situation. Players that continue could be sold, but the first signing under Laporta's era will be Eric Garcia. Romano also states that Barcelona are targeting a center forward and a center back in the upcoming transfer window, which we already talked about, but they are planning for something big. But the financial situation means that player sales and along with salary negotiations are needed first. Apart from Eric Garcia, FC Barcelona are also looking for a dynamic midfielder. Romano also said that Joan Laporta will have Jordi Cruyff and is negotiating with the Chinese club to fix everything, and Matteo Almani will be the head of his board. Now, one of the big decisions that Joan Laporta has to make is whether or not he wants to continue with Ronald Koeman as the head coach. Of course, as of right now, it is too early to call because we're still fighting for La Liga and the Copa del Rey. But Romano has come out saying that Ronald Koeman's future at Barcelona will be complicated if Barcelona fail to win anything this season. Xavi does remain as a candidate to be a possible replacement. Garcia also came out talking about Ronald Koeman, saying that in Laporta's list, Ronald Koeman is not the #1 choice for the coach next season. It does not mean that he will not continue, but Koeman is not the #1 choice for the head coach on Matteo Almani and Laporta's list. But on the contrary, Juan Martin came out saying that Laporta's victory increases Koeman's chances of staying on the touchline next season. The new president is a strong admirer of the Dutchman's work, who will probably continue next season. It's pretty clear now that the only way that Koeman can stay as the Barcelona coach next season if he wins the Copa del Rey or the La Liga. If he wins one of them, I think Koeman will back him and let him stay. If he wins neither, it's going to be, a 50-50. If it was a domestic double, he has to stay in my opinion, and I think in Laporta's opinion as well. Now the fifth and final part of Laporta's rebuild is contract renewals. There are a lot of Barcelona players whose contract end. Of course, Lionel Messi is his own situation, but we have the likes of Dembele, Alaba, Sergio Roberto, so many players that contracts expire in the next year or so, and Laporta has to deal with them. He has to decide who he wants to re-sign and who he wants to sell. Firstly, again, coming in from Fabrizio Romano, saying that one of the biggest decisions for Laporta to make in the coming weeks is whether or not to renew Ousmane Dembele's contract. Laporta absolutely loves Dembele. Dembele did not want to sign a new contract under Bartomeu, and if Bartomeu stayed as a president, Dembele would have left this summer. Romano also said that at the time, Liverpool, Juventus, Manchester United all wanted him on loan last summer, but Barcelona refused to do so because of his contract situation. This year, he will either extend his contract or leave the club in the summer. There is no way he stays if he does not renew his contract. And Romano also says that Laporta is expected to start negotiating his contract renewal with Dembele very, very soon. Now, another player's contract who also expires in the same time as Dembele in 2022 is Elijah Moriba. Moriba come out saying that the contract renewal of Elijah Moriba is an urgent priority for the new president Joan Laporta. The young midfielder ends his current contract in 2022, and there is no clause to extend it, similar to Ansu Fati where you can trigger it, or similar to Mingueza where you can trigger it, and his release clause is 100 million. And finally, another player's contract that expires in 2022 is Sergio Roberto, coming in from Mundo Deportivo, saying that Barcelona want a transfer fee of 60 million from a club interested in signing Sergio Roberto. His contract does end in 2022, and the new board must resolve his future soon. If I'm being completely honest, I expect all three of these players in Dembele, Elijah Moriba, and Sergio Roberto all to renew. Although I do feel like if someone makes an offer for Sergio Roberto, Barcelona will consider it. As you know, we have Emerson coming in and we have Des, and the midfield is very, very solid. Roberto's kind of like, you know, that plug that can just come in and play everywhere when we need it. But I do feel like he is the fourth captain, came from La Masia, been at the club since 2010, got brought up by Pep Guardiola. I feel like in that sense they will renew him. But if an offer does come in for Roberto, keep your eye on that because it may get a little bit interesting. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 24 to 48 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below. I want to know what out of the three strikers, what two would you bring in, considering the fact that Braithwaite will probably be sold. Of course, would you bring in David Alaba? Would you want Messi to stay? I'm pretty sure all of you guys would say yes. Which players would you sell in order to create funds? And would you renew Dembele, Moriba, and Sergio Roberto's contract? And make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.